Rich Rising family. Rich Rising family. Thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. You see the thumbnail. Start celebrating now because your big breakthrough is here. 2025 is going to be your best year ever, your most abundant year ever, your most financial secure year ever. You're going to manifest your dream home. You're going to manifest that brand new vehicle. You're going to manifest just synchronicities and serendipities out of nowhere. After you watch this here video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. First off, press that like button, notification, so you won't miss any downloads that I get from the universe. And my download told me to tell you that this year is going to be your most abundant year that you've ever experienced in your whole life. Yes. All you have to do is receive it. Say, I received that. Drop that in the comments. I received that. It's going to be your most abundant year. So let me go ahead and get into what this download is about today. Being that you found this here channel, that means you are on a journey. That means, because nothing is coincidental in this here universe, nothing is accidental in this here universe. You were supposed to find this here channel. I was supposed to talk to you today so you can get this download yourself to lift your spirits up, take you into this next year, 2025, on a very high frequency. You get what I'm saying? But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into it. I say these things now, and I know that this is going to be your best year, being that you're watching this here video, because now your eyes are open to becoming a deliberate creator of your life. Let me tell you guys the first time I realized that I was a deliberate creator in my life, right? I had just got up to South Carolina. I was overweight, and I used to look at pictures on the internet, like social media, of people who I admired and saw their ethic, you know, far as how they looked and how they were sculpted. I said, I want, and I made that choice the very same day. I want to look like that physically. And years later, I dropped the weight. I dropped like 80 something pounds. My body is very sculpted. I mean, if you compare me to the person who I was looking at, I didn't surpass them. But their work ethic is what drew me to them. And now I go to the gym every single day. Then I had this position that I was at, right? And the whole company had got laid off. I'm just telling you guys this story so you can kind of relate it. It might not be your story, but this is my story, and hopefully it can be relatable to you, that you can take something out of it, out of context, and put it into your life and say, hey, okay, maybe that's what's going on. The whole company had got laid off, and then I ended up going back to Florida from South Carolina. And I just knew something that was within me. I'm going back there eventually. I knew it. 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 I swear I did. So I ended up leaving Florida and coming back to South Carolina. Got that particular position at a higher pay. And I'll tell you guys certain things that came with that particular position that I had got. And then I realized that you speak things into existence. You bring things into your reality by your vibration. You just have to learn more things to come back to that point that you want to go to. You have to go experience more lessons before you can get to what that point has to offer, right? So the second time I went back to that particular position, I was an entrepreneur at this time. 4 years into it, I was not, and let me repeat that, was not even thinking about that position I didn't even care. My eyes wasn't even on it. But my frequency had rose up to a point where, okay, I'm gonna leave this entrepreneur setting for a minute to get everything that I want to get. And I'm explaining this to you guys from my reality and my point of view, and how I take it to deliberately create my reality to where I want it to be at, where boom, I know the building blocks in which it took to get to this type of level. So I left the entrepreneurship world. I used to own a barbershop. Everybody know that. But I left the entrepreneurship world intentionally to go back to that position, not knowing what that position offered. But it was certain things that I was doing in the entrepreneurship world, getting those lessons that I was learning to get me to a level in reality where it's the highest level I've ever reached, for one, because I didn't know that the things that was going to come into my life came into my life. But it got me to a level where I can sustain it mentally. You get what I'm saying? Now, I say that to say this. The things that you want, you might not be able to get that thing that you want, or those things that you want at that particular point of time, because you can't sustain it mentally. You might think that you can, but in actuality, when it come into your dimension, you're going to mess it up. You ain't going to know how to move particularly. You ain't going to know how to move right. It's not going to work. You get what I'm saying? It's steps to go to. Why would the universe bless you? Ask yourself this. Why would the universe bless you with a brand new home, right? Big old home. You want that dream home, that reality, that. You want the 5 bedrooms, the 3,000 square feet. You want that. Why would the universe bless you with that? You have not even started working on your credit. You see, accountability, when you take accountability for your life, you take your life into your own hands, and you know the step to take to sustain that level of responsibility, then the universe will start sending you serendipities and synchronicities to adjust your life and align your life up to the frequency that you have made it up to mentally. You get what I'm saying? Those steps that I was taking as an entrepreneur, for one, I learned everything about credit. Everything about credit. I was doing credit repair. I still do credit repair. I'm getting people loans. And in the meantime, I was learning, like, okay, authorized users, trade lines. I was taking those inspired actions. Whenever you're attracting, you take those inspired actions naturally to bring things in your life. And whenever I got to that point where I was taking those inspired actions, I didn't need the position. I didn't need that. I just needed the pay stubs. You get what I'm saying? So I can show this bank that, hey, all right, I got the pay stubs now, I got the credit, and I've been having the credit for a long time. I already know what to do. There's no denying it. I can walk into the bank and pull out what I wanted to pull out whenever I was at that particular position, when I went back to get to a certain reality that I had attracted prior to getting to this here reality. I was already in motion. You get what I'm saying? And I personally feel like that's how the universe works. It sees what you're doing first and say, okay, let me give him a serendipity. Let me give him an alley-oop, see if he gonna catch it. But for instance, okay, the person who really put me on credit, he's kind of like my mentor. He's a big time credit guy, you know, known in 50 states. He put me on credit, and that's kind of how I got into the credit world, the credit game. But that's a key that he had that I had needed. And if I wasn't aware at that particular point of time, being an entrepreneur, like if I was just, you can call it like not open to the possibilities of life, I would have missed that key. I would have missed that whole key. That's the reason why it's so important to pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you operating on, because you don't know who coming into your life. You get what I'm saying? You do not know who coming into your life with that key that's going to open that door, that's going to eventually give you that home loan. You don't know who got that key. It's so important to pay attention. See, at that particular time when my mentor had came into my reality, I was an entrepreneur, I was in business, and I was owning my own business, running it pretty good, and I was straight. At first, I wasn't thinking about what he was telling me. You get what I'm saying? It went way over my head. So I was like, I ain't doing all of that, man. You know, I was saying this the first couple of months whenever we started first, rocking with each other. I'm telling you guys the whole nine, and hopefully this ain't gonna be your story, but you take something out of this story to say, I can implement that in my life. When he first started rocking with me, my mentor, I was not receptive to the information that he was giving me. I had to do this. It fell straight on my face. And oftentimes when you're not receptive to what the universe is trying, the direction that the universe is trying to pull you in, on your face you go. You get what I'm saying? Because the reality that you want to go into is going to dissolve, picking you to the next reality that oftentimes is better than the reality that you're in. Hey, I'm trying to show you these things. Your higher self, you don't want to be open to it. Guess what? Then I was receptive. I went to his house, right? I went to my mentor's house, and I look back at it like it was yesterday. I walked into his house. I was so open to new possibilities, because at that particular point of time in my life, it was a hard time. I wasn't receptive in the time that I was supposed to be receptive in, and my higher self told me I need to learn the lesson. And I learned that lesson. And then I walked into his house one day. He whipped out $125,000 cash. I didn't ask for it, but I saw it. You don't see, the thing is, the things that you want don't look at you until you look at it. Right? I looked at it. I left. He called me back. Hey, Long, man, you forgot something. Went back. Whipped out that big ass wad of money. Gave me $20. I said, thank you. Went on my way. I got so deep into the credit game. I got so deep after that. I got so deep into the credit game. And then guess what? We was partners after that. He called my line. Hey, Long, can you do this for me? For a long period of time, that was my income. Completely doing credit repair, other things of that nature, giving people loans. And it made me a lot of money at that particular point of time. But I had to go into that just to show you guys like that feeling. You get what I'm saying? I remember that feeling. So after we got into the credit game and I built my credit up to a point where it was no denying, all I needed was pay stubs. Guess what happened? The universe brought to me a certain position that carried a certain level of income to get to where I wanted to get to in real life. You get what I'm saying? So with that, I was receptive at that point of time because I was really deep in the law of attraction, manifestations, and alignment. I was on point at that particular point of time, so I was open to it, and then I accepted that position. But everything, it was, when I first got out there, it was a landfall of a lot of serendipities and synchronicities. It was, the universe just opened up the floodgates on me at that particular point of time. It did. I've never seen that much in my whole entire life. You understand me? Because I was open and receptive, and I received it. So I received the fullness of that and everything that carried. Boom. So fast forward year and a half, I knew I was out there for a certain reason, a certain plan. I knew I had to execute it no matter what. It came to a point of time where I was working every single day to get to where I wanted to get to. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna cut this video a little bit short, but hopefully you guys take something out of it. I was working every single day, pushing towards that mark, pushing towards that mark, pushing towards, those are inspired actions to get manifestations to come into your life. You understand me? Next thing you know, I got the pre-approval on the things that I wanted, everything that I had wanted. I got the pre-approval. I got the stability that I had wanted, that certain level. I knew what I wanted at that time. I knew what I had wanted, and I had got that. But it came from earlier on taking those inspired actions to get into that point that I had wanted to get to. If I wasn't receptive in the beginning, a few years ago, with my mentor, on doing the things that I needed to do for myself, he was trying to just get money. You get what I'm saying? For me, I was trying to elevate status, and I did. So that's a story about me and my mentor, and that's the reason why I touch on these things, because I feel so strongly about deliberately creating your lifestyle. And I call it lifestyle design. You want to live your life by your design, not by somebody else's design. You don't want to be that person to have somebody tell you like, hey, live this way. No, you want to be that person that your whole entire life, this is my life. You get what I'm saying? You want to be that. That's why you a chosen one, because you didn't watch this here video. Drop a like if you didn't follow this video to the very end. You want to be that. You get what I'm saying? And in 2025, you make the choice. You see, God gives us free will. Free will to make a choice. And if you stick with that choice, especially if it's beneficial. You see, I ain't even touched on chakras today. I'm feeding you guys right now, because it's coming from me to talk to somebody out there to let them know, make that choice. In 2025, I'm going to take this whole thing over. Once you make that choice that's within you, you taking over your whole life, and you stick with that choice, the universe is going to bless you beyond what you ever can fathom. You understand me? The universe does those type of, you call it a miracle. No, it's called the law of manifestation. The law of attraction. That's what it's called. It's not a miracle. You just rose up your frequency. You just rose your vibration up to the frequency that you want to be on, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. You just did that, and you thinking your whole entire life is falling apart after you done put it together and you done made that choice. No, you're raising up you're raising up your vibration to get to a certain frequency. You see, life happens, and between our eyes, you can only see 3%. You can only see 3% of life between these here two eyes. with these and this and this. This is all you can see. Life happens 97% behind the veil of reality, the matrix. See, the matrix, the construct of the matrix is to throw you off, to make you feel like, hey, this ain't how it's supposed to go. I done lost my girl. You get what I'm saying? I done lost friends. I done lost a whole lot. Am I sure that I'm heading in the right direction? That's your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is working in the background for your favor to get those people out of your life. It could be family members. You get what I'm saying? Brothers, cousins, mothers, uncles, daddies acting some type of way. Why are you acting funny? You know why? Because you done rose up your frequency, and now you got more light that's coming out of your pores that's shining where they can't see that light. It's blinding them. They still in the dark. They want you to stay down here with the dark, in the dark. Ask yourself this. Why would you, and it's a lot of people that's in the dark, why would you stay in the dark instead of lighting a candle and being that one to hold that candle, to shine light on the people who are in the dark? Why would you choose to stay in the dark? You know why? Because you think that it's normal. No. A lot of things that happens in your life, especially when you get into spirituality and you start tuning that knob to get to a certain frequency, it won't feel normal. It don't look normal. You is not gonna be normal no more. That's the selves. That's what everybody else do. To be a chosen one, you can't do what everybody else do. You gotta stick out. And you gotta stand up with your chest up, regardless of what comes to you. It matters what comes through you. Because eventually your outer reality will reflect exactly your state of being. Your consciousness. Because whenever you look at somebody, that's just a reflection of who they are. You look at somebody, car, that's a reflection of you. Your home is a reflection of you. Your friends is everything is a reflection of you. Why would a certain person be around you and they don't line up to that certain frequency that you're on? That's why it don't matter who it is. They got to go. That's why chosen ones, I encourage you to be strong. I encourage you to get this information, this knowledge. I encourage you to walk in your complete pure essence, in your glory that you built. Because everything is a reflection of you. That take a level of knowing, that take a level of confidence, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't know it or not. You don't know it right now, but you are exactly in the perfect time, perfect place that you're supposed to be in, so you can be either getting a lesson, learning, or raising up your frequency. That's it for my video today, you guys. I had to get in here and start New Year's Eve. I usually bring in the new year with a bang. Like last year, look, I did too much last year. I'm so excited. I did too much, but you know what? It was fun. I look back at it, it was fun. I did too much. This year, I'm gonna throw barbecue with the family. You know what I mean? And host a gathering at my place, and my family gonna come over. You know, my lady and everything, she gonna come over. We gonna take in this new year with a whole lot of love, whole lot of love, and that's the best thing. You get what I'm saying? So you guys be safe on this New Year's Eve. Peace, love, and blessings. Walk in your essence. And I want you guys to always know this. I always send messages out of love. You understand me? This message is for you, chosen ones. Always pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you operating on. 2025 is going to be live. The best year in your whole entire life. Let's go.